Good morning, everyone. I am Jenna Lee Thomas, and I get the great opportunity to be with you all today. And I am so excited. We get to talk about raising kingdom kids. Raising kids is something I am so passionate about. I have a mama's heart and just love kids and love being able to parent them and having that opportunity to parent them. And so I want to come and talk to you about how can we come together as a community and raise kingdom kids. A little bit about me. I am a mama of four littles. I have identical twin boys that are 9, a 7-year-old girl, and a 3-year-old girl. And each one of them are sweet, sweet, sweet little kiddos, but they have different spirits, different gifting, different needs, as I'm sure that you all have found with the kiddos that you guys are raising. And as we're raising them, it's a journey. There's many joys and there's some obstacles. And as we go through different obstacles, my husband and I, we needed a community. We needed friends to hold our hand, give us wisdom, pray with us, and walk along the journey. And so I want to share our journey with you as we are raising kids together. So today, as I share our story, at the very end, I'm going to put up a webinar link that I want you guys to click on and come talk to us live. Come join our community. And we want to hear about your journey and talk more on the topic. So, as I get started, I'm going to go ahead and pop in a link so you guys can go ahead and register for the webinar to be able to see and come and talk with us afterwards, too. This little link will also send you the link for the Zoom. So I'm going to post it in here for 1 second here. Good morning, Marianne. I'm so glad to have you on here. All right. So let me get started. Today, I want to share from my heart about the journey of Sam. And I titled this one, The Love of a Child, Understanding and Loving Our Children Right Where They're At. Because that is so important. Right now, in the world that we live in, sometimes it's hard to raise a kiddo, listening to God, knowing God, also hearing their heart. Because we run a million miles a minute. We have 10 million tasks that we have to juggle as parents, but yet we have to be able to see our child, see their heart, and understand and love them right where they're at. We tend to try to have them make big adult decisions, be more mature, be exposed to things before they're ready. And many times we don't let the children be little. So today, I want you to think about, what did God intend for your child? What is your child's heart and what does he or she need right now? And how can we let them be little while also equipping them to have a solid foundation? So that way, when they are exposed to the world, when they do have to make tough decisions, they have that decision. That foundation to make that decision and have that wisdom and knowledge to know that their decision is the right decision. So just ponder that as I share about our story. So I'm going to take you guys all back to Halloween. At Halloween, we got the opportunity to do a trunk or treat. And many of you guys have probably done the trunk or treats too. Well, my kids, they get so excited about this stuff. And so we were building a Star Wars trunk. And part of the Star Wars trunk that we ordered, we had this toss game. So we needed to build some type of obstacle that they could hang it up on and be able to toss. And as my boys would say, that boys have strong muscles, so they need to have something really durable that they can toss and throw it into. And so we waited to the last minute. All of us were running around busy with work. We waited till last minute to go to Lowe's and get all the PVC pipes for it. Now, backstory, my children build all the time. They want to be architects, they're going to be farmers, and so constantly building, whether it's wood or with PVC pipe. So they had drawn out this whole plan. This is how we're going to put it together. This is what we're going to do. So we went to Lowe's, we got all the PVC pipes, all the links, everything they needed, the special ties to hold everything, and came back home. And of course, you know, it's supper time, we're hurry, eat, let's go build this because we have to be ready by the next morning to go. And as we were building it, all 3 boys were doing it. And I started hearing this yelling back and forth. No, you can't have that piece. That's my masterpiece. My husband saying, listen, we don't have much time. We've got to just use this. Come on, we're a family. This is all of ours. We're going to share it. And just this bickering back and forth. And I'm just sitting there going, oh God, just stop the fighting. I don't want this, not back and forth again. And pretty soon in storms Sam and my husband. Sam comes in and says, Dad's trying to ruin my masterpiece. He wants to take a PVC pipe from my masterpiece, and I don't want him to ruin it. And Clay's like, no, he's got to listen. If he wants this built, if he wants to do it, we don't have enough PVC pipes. We have to borrow his and we have to cut it. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to give, and this is it. This is what we're doing. And the two of them were going back and forth and yelling. And then here I am as the mama stuck in the middle. And I could just feel it made my heart so sad because I see Sam's heart. I see that, you know what? This is his masterpiece. This lemonade stand that he doesn't want this one PVC taken from. I mean, he's been working on for 3 months. I see my husband's side of, you know what? This is the piece we need. And we didn't get enough PVC pipes. And that, yeah, we do have to cut it. And it really isn't going to make a difference. But the two of them are going back and forth, yelling back and forth. And I was like, enough. We are not doing this. In our house, we honor each other and we talk to each other. You two go to the front room and talk to each other. Listen to each other's hearts. And I say that to my husband and I look at him and I give him, the mama eye of, listen here, listen to what your son is saying. And he looks at me of, listen here, I am dad and he is going to listen to me. And I'm sure that all of you guys have had that obstacle of getting pulled between the two. And they go to the front room and they're still screaming and yelling at each other. And I'm just like, God, let them listen to each other's heart. Let them hear each other's heart. Because you know what? So often we have emotions in our words, but it really doesn't show what our heart is saying. And so understanding what is really behind that. Why are they so upset? What is causing all of this? It sometimes doesn't always show in our words. We just say mean things of, no, we're not doing this. Or yes, you are. Listen to me. I'm the father. And that really doesn't help and doesn't get us anywhere. Well, they end up storming back out. There's more screaming and yelling going on in the garage. And pretty soon Sam comes in and says, I give up. I'm done. And I said, well, what do you mean you're done? And I'm sitting on the couch and he comes in, he sits on me and he says, Mama, I'm done. I gave up. I told Dad I just wanted to be friends. I don't want to fight anymore. I love him and I want him to love me. And he's not at a place right now where he's loving me, Mom. And I don't want to fight. So I give up. I told him, take my PVC, rip it off my lemonade stand, cut it, do whatever. I don't care. I don't want to fight. And at that moment, my heart just sank. And those big tears just rolled down Sam's face. And I said, Sam, you don't have to do that. You guys can talk. He can honor your stuff and you can honor him. He's like, nope, I'm done. I said, well, do you want to talk about it? He says, nope. I just want it to be, I don't want to fight with my dad. And so I just prayed that night, and the two of them didn't talk to each other when they went to bed. Clay tucked him in, kissed him. He just turns his head at his dad, obviously mad. His heart was broken. We weren't sharing. Well, that next morning, of course, Clay has to go to work, so he leaves early. And I hear Sam get up, and he goes straight out into the garage and starts tinkering around. And so as he's tinkering around, I just sat there, and I'm like, okay, he's not over it. It's bothering him. Okay, let me come out there. Let me see what I can do. How do I create this? How do I help with this relationship? And I walk out there and Sam hands me a thing. I said, hey, bud, how are you doing this morning? He said, Mom, you need to have this. And he hands me this piece of paper. And I look at this paper and I'm like, okay. And as I'm looking at this paper, I'm like, well, it says 1 Corinthians 13, verse 1 through 12. And I said, what's this, Sam? Tell me about it. And he said, Mom, this explains last night. It's all about love. You'll understand it because you love me. I just wish my dad would understand me. I wish he would love me like this. Oh, my heart sank. And it hit home, going, wow, here's this child that's not feeling loved, not feeling understood. So I said, all right, Sam, let me go get my Bible. I want to come back and I want to sit with you. And I want you to tell me about this. I want to know what you mean by this. So I went and I grabbed my Bible and I just sat down in the chair right beside him. And I started reading it. And I started from the beginning, that love. And now I show you the most excellent way. If I speak in tongues of men and angels, but have not loved, I am not only resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. And it talks about love. And as I started reading through it, that if I have faith that can move mountains but not loved, I am nothing. And I read verse 1 through 7 to him, and I paused and I said, Sam, tell me about this. And he said, Mom, go back to 4. So I went to 4. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. And I was like, okay, Sam, tell me more. He said, well, go to 7, Mom. So I read 7 again. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. And he said, Mom, God is telling us that that's our foundation, that we have to love in that way. We can't be rude and angry. If we're going to love one another, we got to truly love. We have to be patient and we have to be kind. Even in the little things, Mom, even in just our PVC pipes. You know, he could have just loved me and said, hey, I need to borrow this piece. Instead, he said, Sam, we got to rip that piece off a lemonade stand. That lemonade stand's falling apart anyway. He didn't love me in the little things, and I needed him to love me. It's like, okay. So then I read verse 8 all the way to 11, and he said, Mom, that's the impact that we have when we do love, when we use our gifting of love. He said, but read number 11. So I read 11. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. And I said, okay, Sam, what's this telling me? And he said, Mom, I was just a child. I only had a child vision. I couldn't see the big picture like Dad. I threw a fit. I got angry like a child because all I could see was that this was my masterpiece that I'd been working on and that he was just going to ruin it. But really, all he was doing was borrowing this little PVC pipe to be able to make our trunk or treat thing work. And I couldn't see that because I was just like a child. And I needed Dad to have that bigger vision, to talk me through it, to just give me just the little things that I needed to know, to understand that he had the bigger picture and that this was going to be put right back together. It was just going to be borrowed for a second. And I needed him just to love on me and have that vision as an adult. And it really sunk in. And I said, is there anything else you want to share? And he said, yeah, sometimes those decisions, you ask me questions and Dad asks me questions. Those are adult questions and I'm not ready to answer them. I just want to be a child and play, and I just want you to make those decisions. I want Dad to make those decisions. And my heart sank because you know what? He is so right. There's only so many decisions that they need to make. And right now in this world, the decisions that they need to make for their age as 9-year-olds is how to build, to ride their bike, good decisions with their friends when they're given the opportunity to ride around the block. What are those decisions? Or good decisions as they're handling their drills, their saws, all of that. They don't need to make the big worldly decisions. We as parents need to make those worldly decisions for them. And you know, each of you have different age groups, but I want you to ponder, what is that? What are those decisions that they need to make? And what are the ones that you just need to make for them? That you need to talk with God and say, God, partner with me as a parent. Do I bring this to them or do I make that decision and allow them to be a child? And sometimes those decisions they're not going to like, but you as a parent and as God parenting together made those decisions and know that those are the right decisions for them. And they get to just step into it as a child and learn from it and grow as they go into those decisions that you make. So I share this story and I share this journey with you because I know on the outside, since it's not your child, you can see it and go, oh my gosh, I see Sam's heart. I see that sweetness. But now today, I want you, each one of you, to sit down and look at each child, write their name down and look at their heart. What does their heart need right now? What decisions can you make to help bless their heart, to help them grow and to flourish in that age that they are, in those milestones that they're in? Also, how can you create an environment for their age, for the milestones? Should they have this certain games? Should they be seeing the TV shows they're seeing? Should they be listening to this music? Should they be making those decisions and having those exposures, or do we need to limit it? So that way, then you can build that solid foundation that they need. So when they are exposed to it, when they see it from their friends, they know the right decisions, the right choices. They know what's really being said in the music that they're getting to hear. They know how to act with their friends and say, you know what, you guys can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and go home, or I'm going to go over here instead. But we have to build that. But before we can build that, we have to decide as parents, what is it that are childlike in their vision? And what are those as parents, the adult vision that we need to have to make that bigger impact on our children? So, what decisions are there? Start reading the Bible, giving them that foundation. And I would love it. Post underneath anytime today or come on live and share your child's heart, how you see their heart. But I want to continue this conversation further. I want to know your journey. I want to know where you're at. And I want you guys to come and be part of our community and allow us to come and pray with you, walk alongside you as you make this journey to make those decisions for your children, to guide your children as they're making an impact for the world. So today, here is this webinar. I'm going to put it in the comments. I'm also going to show it up here. So log on and register right here and come hop on for the next 45 minutes. Let's come together as a community. Let's pray over our children. Let's walk through it. We're here to walk alongside you in this journey. So I'm going to leave this up for a few more minutes. I'm also going to put it in the other comments. And what it will do is once you register, you'll get another email with the Zoom link. Hop on that Zoom link and join me as we raise our kids together, these kingdom kids that are going to impact the world. All right, I will see you guys on the other side.